I'm going to be ranking every single Chinese bun slash pastry that you get at Asian style bakeries. These are going to be the more traditional buns and pastries that you see all Chinese grandpas and grandmas eating. I'm going to refrain from including the ones that you, like the new ones that you see at like 85 degrees or like Shanky. These are going to be the pastries and buns that you see at like bare bone Asian style bakeries. What items would they include on the menu? Before we begin, I'm going to be ranking it based off the average of what you would expect at like the run-of-the-mill Asian bakery, not the ideal form. I tried, okay? You guys were like, oh, you can rank it based off of that. That's not fair for the dish. You have to rank it based off the ideal form, like the quintessential form. See, I did that, and then you wasted 25 minutes of my life because basically what happened, all these dishes were just an S tier and A tier. Do you want to see that? Is that a fun thing to watch? Me just putting all these dishes in S and A tier? No. Okay, so this is going to be like, if I were to put you in the middle of Chinatown, I spun you around in like 15 circles, and you pointed at a random direction, and you went to the closest Chinese bakery in that location, what would you expect to eat? Okay? So, let's begin. I'm not including a lot of the steamed ones because I already ranked a lot of the steamed buns and baos on the dim sum ranking tier list. So these are going to be the ones that I missed in that ranking video, but also including char-siu bao because every bakery has this, and if I don't include this, everyone's going to be super mad because like this is like probably like one of the biggest sellers at those places, right? So barbecue pork bun, it's really good. Sometimes the bread might be like a little bit like dry, and sometimes the filling might be really pathetic. So I can't put it in S tier just because based again on average. And also talk about average. C is average. So C is still good, right? Like I wouldn't mind eating C tier stuff. D and F tier is where that changes. But so C tier, if I put it in C, it's still not bad. Anyways, this, I feel like the bread is good usually. It's honey glazed on top. The inside is honey. It's super umami from the char-siu, from the barbecue pork, and the sauce that they mix it with. But because it is pork, right? So a lot of places often skimp on this because like I guess pork is more expensive, right? So I can't put it in S tier, but I think that this deserves a solid A tier, in my opinion. Next one, cocktail bun or gai mei bao. Basically what gai mei bao is it's a really soft bun. On the inside, it's a mix of some type of egg yolk or some type of fat, sometimes vegetable oil, coconut shavings, and sugar. And then it's just a clump of that. It's just like a big clump of like that mixture. And you put it into a bun and you bake it. I think it's really fragrant. Like this, like if you like coconut, you'll love this bread. The good thing about this is because it's in it's a longer shape, right? All the filling will be equally distributed because it's like this shape. Unlike some breads where like you'll bite into half of it and you don't get the filling until like the next bite. This, I would say that the bread is usually pretty well made. The bread is also usually pretty fresh compared to other dishes because this is very popular. Old Asian grannies, like you'll often see them holding one of these, and like you won't really see a stale one. So then I think this one also deserves A tier. It's also like it's not as expensive to make. The bakeries won't really be that skimpy with the filling, unlike this barbecue pork bun where they're often like skimp a lot with the pork. So I guess this would go. No, I still think it would go like that. Next one, coconut custard or just regular custard bread. I mean, okay, this is basically just like a loaf of cake or like some type of yeasted bread, and then they put some type of either coconut custard or so just a regular custard inside, and then maybe they'll put coconut shavings on top of it. Like this one has the coconut shavings on top of it. I would say like this is really like just like super average, right? Like it's cake, so I mean like it's fluffy, right? The bread is nice, and then they just put like coconut custard filling inside, which I mean like it's good, it's soft, it's moist, but like it's so average. And also the fact that, in my opinion, okay, just for me, after they add the custard, then it's just like, well, it's good, but then I just feel more guilty eating it, and then that feeling of guilt kind of just lowers it. I get the same enjoyment from eating this as I do from just eating like a sponge cake, but then this one I just feel more guilty eating it, and it's not like the trade-off for the deliciousness to guilt ratio isn't there, and that's why it's just kind of average. Like I'll eat it, but like it's just bread. I don't know, meh. Whereas this one, right, I feel like the trade-off is worth it. Also, my sister makes a pretty good cocktail bun, but we're not ranking it based off of what my sister makes. Next, pineapple bun or bolo bao. Yes, S tier. Oh wait, disclaimer. So S tier is only the ones that are not filled and the small ones. Okay, because the small not filled ones, I'd say like 9 times out of 10, they're really soft, right? The crust is really good. They're fresh because they're like a hot commodity. Like it's like one of the iconic like Asian bakery breads. It's just a choux pastry. It's often soft, moist. The top is crispy. It's like it feels light, even though it probably isn't with how much butter is on the top. But that doesn't matter. And this is just super good if it is small and not filled. If it's big, then I don't know what it is, but then the big one maybe just less people get. But the big one's usually super dry and like cold often, right? It's not pleasant to eat because of how doughy it is, how dense it is. If it's a big one, that goes in like D tier because like it's just always bad. Like I probably like 9 times out of 10 it's just bad. But then the small one, like the small like 3 bite, 4 bite one, that one goes S tier. The big one, D tier. I'm just gonna put this in S tier because why not? Leave me alone. Next one. This is the filled ones. So I'm just gonna put these both together. So this is the bolo, chasiu bao, or pineapple barbecue pork bun. And this is the bolo, lai wen bao, which is barbecue or pineapple custard bun. So I don't know what it is about these two, but they're often dry. They're often a lot more dry. I think it's because like less people order it compared to this one, which everyone orders. These two, less people order, so it's usually more dry. I mean, like this one compared with the fact that it's often like really skimpy too. I'd put this in like below C tier, like low C's as well. Whereas this custard one, I guess it's not as bad, like with how skimpy they are, because it's just custard. But I also don't really care for this that much. I guess I'd put this here as well. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't really care for the custard that. I'll leave this at B tier just because it is often more dry when you order it at an Asian bakery. Just less people get it. It's cold. It's not soft and crunchy like this one. This is magic. This is like S tier, but this one's like, eh. And I also feel a little bit more guilty eating this one. This one is just like, meh, it's aight. And this one, because they do skimp, it's not C tier though. I still like it. No, because of how dry it is. Yeah, because of how dry it is, I'd say both of these go here actually. Now I think about it, yeah, because they're just often dry. Not as dry as like the big version of this, but they're just dry. Meh. Next one, corn and ham bun. This one, my sister makes a pretty good corn and ham bun, or so my bao, or so my falter bao. This is just like a loaf of bread, like a little piece of like Asian style like milk bread, and then on the inside they leave a hole. And they'll put like a mixture of mayonnaise, corn, and ham. I remember eating this all the time when I was little. I don't know why, but that just always happened. But the thing about this is I do not like it because, first of all, the bread is almost always dry. And when it isn't, right, all the filling's on the inside. And like, you have to get through this entire like outer edge right here, right? This entire outer edge. It's a pretty thick outer edge, right? It's not like a regular bun where like, you bite into it, like even the first bite, you still get filling. This one, the full first bite is just bread. And it's often dry. So, I mean, low C. On average, yeah, probably like a low, C, like just barely above average. I mean, this is cake, so you can't really hate on cake. Yeah, so I'd say like this is like, because of how it's often dry, all the fillings in the middle, so that you're just like kind of sad while you're eating the first bite and the last bite, and then you have one bite that's just too much filling. Yeah, just the way the filling is dispersed is just like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Before there's a war in the comments, just remember, I like this bun. It's just usually made really, really horribly at most Asian bakeries from the ones that I've been to. Please don't hurt me. Next one, meat floss bread or yokchung bao. This one, see, like this is what it should look like. This is what this one should do, right? Where all the filling is like equally dispersed on top, right? So that every bite, or at least every other bite, you get this like little top dispersion, and you're not like bombarded with everything all at once. So what this is it's just the Asian style milk bread. Then they slather some mayonnaise on top, and then on the mayonnaise, they put the meat floss on top, so that like the mayonnaise acts as like the glue between the bread and the meat floss. And meat floss is like, if you don't know what it is, it's shredded pork that's slightly sweetened and super umami. And I would say this is pretty good. Oftentimes the mayonnaise is kind of overwhelming. It's also more greasy. On average, I'd say they make this pretty well because it's just bread and then they put the stuff afterwards. So I would say this is a solid, I'd say it's a solid B tier. Like on average, right? Like this in essence is really, really good. But like the way it's just organized, like the way they create it is like meh. Like the way it's designed, this just has really like severe design issues. I know a lot of people love this. I'm gonna get some massive haters, but in my opinion, meh. The design, it's severe design flaw. Next, this is meat floss with scallion, and this is a roll instead of a bun. This one I actually like eating a lot more, so this one gets really messy, right? You can see that like, because it's just kind of like glued on top from the mayonnaise, like it still flies all over the place. It's also hard to eat because it's really oily, because like while you're eating it, the mayonnaise kind of like drips all over the place, and like your hands get super like greasy and stuff like that. I really don't like that. This one, they don't actually have the mayonnaise in it. Instead of using the mayonnaise as glue, they wrap it or they roll it, so you don't need that like extra layer of grease. And there's also like that fragrant scallion to it, or the fragrant green onion into it, and that makes this I would say this is probably A tier. It's also slightly sweet from the meat floss, and I just really like scallion stuff. So like the fragrance of the scallion as well is really good. Probably definitely A tier. I also have a lot of memories of me just ordering like bags of this and then just like bringing it home and microwaving it. That's the other thing. This one, it's microwavable, and like once you microwave it, it's super soft. Yeah. Whereas I feel like some of the other ones, like this one, you cannot microwave because of the mayonnaise, which also sucks. And like the pineapple ones, these two, this one, right? If the bread is hard and you want to microwave it, you can't, because the freaking mayonnaise, and it's just a mess. Because the mayonnaise has to be cold, the bread has to be warm, and then no, everything here is super messy other than this one. And this one, and this one. Maybe, okay. Everything in A tier is just not messy. Next one. Curry beef bun. It sounds good. It's a curry beef bun. You look at this picture. I'm gonna zoom into it. It looks like a piece of in there. And honestly, it has the consistency of that piece of There's nothing else other than like some like yellowish brownish meat slop. And this one, honestly, I tried liking it. I love curry, right? But oftentimes they're skimpy, right? And like you open it and you look at it and it's just sad. I feel like not that many people get it, so it's always hard. Like they're always super skimpy, and like honestly, the texture is just so off-putting. Like the texture of the curry beef is so off-putting. There's no like, it's just kind of like, it's like meat paste. It's just Cuban meat paste. Like, I do not like this. F tier. But. So curry beef bun, F tier. Curry chicken bun. See, chicken, they can't use, there's no chicken slop. It's not chicken paste, right? This is actual chunks of either chicken thigh or chicken breast or whatever, right? And although it's still just cumin chicken breast or cumin chicken pieces, it's not like, the texture isn't this garbage texture. So this one A tier. Sometimes they do skimp out on the filling, but I just really like curry. The chicken is a nice texture. The curry flavor is really nice. And it doesn't look, or like, this looks so bad. It just feels so bad. I hate this. And this one is like, I just like curry chicken. Okay, leave me alone. Next one, scallion bun, just scallion bread, right? Just scallion, oil, bread, sesame seeds. This one, S tier. What the fuck's happening? This is usually super fluffy. Like, also, this one is usually okay, never mind. This one, A tier. It's usually super fluffy, right? It's like, I love the flavor and like the scent, the aroma of scallion and green onion. So it just smells super good. It's super just fun to eat. It's honestly just bread and scallion oil. But like, it tastes so good. Oh my God. I love this so much. I think this goes S tier actually. Yeah, I think this goes S tier. Yes. Next one. I'm going to skip around. This is the scallion and ham bread. This one also, like, it's usually done pretty well. This one, I feel like sometimes it's hit or miss. This one, the bread is usually super fluffy, whereas this one, like, the bread is often more dense. It's usually colder. Not as many people get this over this. So I would say that this one still, I'd say it's A tier. I'd say that this is, like, on average, this is A tier. Probably like that. This one I'd probably put here. I'd say this goes above curry bun. Yeah, because this one's like almost always consistently perfect. This one is like slightly less consistently perfect. And also, because actually, yeah, so this one has ham in it, right? And the ham is sometimes just really dry, and sometimes it's like, it just feels like you're eating plastic. Yeah, that's true, actually. Sometimes it does feel like you're eating plastic. Okay. I went from S to A to B, whatever. This one, it's like, everything is soft. Whereas this one, like, sometimes you're eating it, and all of a sudden, like, you eat something, and it feels like you're eating plastic, but that's just the ham that they used. And it's, like, super dry. And sometimes it's really oily. I mean, usually, sometimes it's good. But, like, oftentimes, the ham is just more off-putting than, like, it does more damage than it helps the bread. So I think this is, like, a high B tier. Still above average, but that's just my opinion. It's also, like, it doesn't do anything for it, right? The scallion oil is where all the fragrance or, like, the aroma comes from. Like, the ham is just there. I mean, like, what protein are you getting from, like, 5 grams of ham? It's just there to be there. This one, scallion pancake. It's basically just, like, a crispy bread with a lot of sesame on it and some scallion. Please note, this isn't the normal scallion pancake, which is like the flat scallion pancake. That would be like S tier. This one's still a bread, so it's more like a pan-fried scallion bread. I'd say this is good. Probably A tier. I just really like green onion, but sometimes it's also really dry because you do have to pan fry it, and sometimes it's hard. And like, I guess oftentimes it's really oily as well. So on average, I'd say this is probably like probably there, because it's not as soft as this one. Even though it doesn't have the ham, it's not as soft usually. Ham and egg bread. I mean, it's a ham and egg bread. Like, the bread is soft, but again, it's just ham and egg. Also, the egg just feels weird. The egg feels weird. The ham is fine. It's just, I don't know what it is about the egg. The egg, it's just a rectangular egg, and it just feels weird. It looks like I'm eating like plastic, but I mean, it's not bad. I'd say it's above average. Just because, like, what's not to like about a ham and egg bun, and also at least the filling is properly spread out across the bread. Unlike this one, every bite will have ham and egg, which is really nice. So this goes there. Sausage bread. Oh, do I have that one? Oh, I don't. Okay, so this is sausage bun or bao. This one, I like these more than American hot dogs. These are so good. It's like American hot dogs is like dry and like you like, you know, like, it's so dry like it flakes. That's how dry like American hot dog buns are. These are like, no, like that never happens. They often glaze the top with like some type of simple sugar or maybe some type of honey, and the bread is super soft. I would say this is A tier. I'd say, yeah, this is A tier, only because I don't have the picture of the flour one. But the flour one, there's like scallions, there's some type of ketchup or tomato sauce on it, and like it looks pretty. That one goes like S tier as well. That one would be like there. But then this one, this is just the hot dog bun. The flour hot dog bun goes S tier, probably here. But in this one, this is the regular one, A tier. I think that's perfectly fine. Red bean bun. This is super biased, okay? I love red bean hong dao bao, hong dao green, or red bean roll. S tier. It's okay. Again, it's usually soft. You can microwave it. Red bean is flippin' delicious. That's all you need to say. S tier. This one, sponge cake. Jing song go. This is honestly like this is better than this one, right? There's no custard. This is just yeasted sponge cake. I think I like this one. I just like sponge cake. It's just fun to eat because it's so fluffy. And it's just fluffy. It's fluffy and it's like it's not offensive. But in my opinion, I would eat this over everything else down here. On average. Yeah. I'm sure that this opinion is, a lot of people will not like this opinion, but that is my opinion. On average, I would eat this more than I would eat anything down here. Dude, like, they gotta fix this. This one looks like ass, it tastes like ass, it feels like ass. Mantao. There are a few things that are more comforting than a Chinese mantao or Chinese like just milk bread. Like this is a steamed milk bread. And for that reason, like just a cold day, like this is also like hard to mess up, right? Like I haven't been to very few places that do this like horribly wrong because it's not baked, right? You can constantly steam it. It'll stay warm and stay fluffy. I didn't know where to put this. Asian bakeries usually don't have this, but then I didn't know where else to put this. And this is just my favorite, like my favorite bun. This is called a big bread or a dai bao, which is just a really big bun. So this one will have either chicken or pork in it. And then it'll have an egg or like half an egg. It'll have a Chinese lapchang or Chinese sausage. And then it'll have, I'm missing something, like a mushroom. And like this is just so fun to eat because of how big it is. It just makes you feel warm and fluffy inside. This one, S tier. It's so fun to eat. And like, it just makes you feel all nice and warm. And it's really big, so it's fun to eat. S tier. This one, taro bun. This one specifically, like this, I guess this goes against my traditional rule where like things have to be traditional. But like this one's so popular, I had to include it. So this is a taro swirl bun. In my opinion, the swirl on top, like the pastry like swirl thing on top, makes it like a C tier. I just don't like it. It's dry. It's like it's flaky. It doesn't do anything for me. If it's only the bread without the top, I would say this is like a B tier or like probably an A tier. I do not like the pastry thing on top. Average. With the pastry on top, without the pastry on top, A tier. I mean the pastry looks pretty, but like it just feels weird. It's dry. Nah. Egg tart. So, if you watched my previous dim sum ranking video, egg tart, it's fine. What? Oh no, okay, don't anger that many people. It's fine. Honestly, it's so eggy usually, and now it's also super expensive. Like actually, what the? And like at bakeries, they often do it better than at dim sum restaurants, so I'll give them that. But in my opinion, it's just so eggy. It's fine, I guess. Jason from the future. I just want to say I'm sorry for where I put egg tarts. In retrospect, it does not deserve that spot on the tier list. No one is forcing me to say this. I'm just kidding. But really, no one's forcing me to say this. I think it's just because the last egg tart I had was really, really bad and really eggy and just disgusting and greasy and oily and stuff like that. It's probably going to be in B tier, right between the sesame pancake and the jingseong go is where I would put egg tarts now, with a more clear state of mind. But if you want something really good, Portuguese egg tart or Portuguese milk tart, po tart. This, instead of being an egg inside, it's more of a custard. And like, oh, this is good. This is good. The cool thing is also not many people know about this one. They always get the egg tart, which I'm just like, whatever, egg tart, whatever. Portuguese egg tart, I referenced this in my dim sum ranking video, but this is next level. You like egg tarts? This is like, your mind will be blown. No cap. Your mind will be blown. This is so good. It's like flaky. There's like a really fragrant like egg and also milk flavor to it. It just smells good. It tastes good. The inside is like runny, so it's not like this. This one's usually like a egg jello, whereas this one's more like a custard, like a almost like a pudding texture, I guess. This one's just so good. I don't know what it is. This one, danso, or salted egg pastry. Salted egg yolk wrapped inside lotus paste, wrapped inside Asian style pastry dough, which is basically just regular pastry dough, but instead of using butter, they use lard. And this one's fine. I think it's too salted egg forward. I think B is definitely above average. I do like it, but I mean, like, no, it's just too much egg yolk, or like too much salted egg yolk. So I'll probably put this definitely above egg tart, but like, it's just slightly too much egg yolk. I really like the lotus paste, but that's just my opinion. This one though, this is peidanso, or preserved duck egg pastry. You think that sounds disgusting, but I don't know what it is. There's also like a little sometimes there's a little like pickled ginger in there. It's the same exact thing as this one, but instead of salted egg, it's preserved duck egg. And this one, they have the egg white thingy in there, so like there's a little like egg white, like preserved egg white like feel to it, and that's also really fun to eat. And I love the little pickled ginger just to like add like contrast to it. I don't know what it is, but this is definitely, I'm gonna put it S tier, but then I'll get slapped. So then A tier is fine. I think this is like high A tier. This is really fun to eat. I think it's just the ginger, the little pickled ginger inside. And also preserved duck egg pastry. If you've never had it, give it a try. Banana cake roll thing. I mean, it's honestly, it's like it's just a banana roll. I mean, it's basically just like banana jello like thing, chewy banana jello. I mean, it's like almost like banana mochi, which I mean, I think it's good. It's fragrant banana, but there are definitely like, it's usually cold, and I prefer warmer things, right? So I guess I would put that at average. It's good, but like I don't really care that much for it. Meh. Kaitai ben, or little chicken cookie. I don't care for this at all. Like, I'll eat it sometimes. I don't actively like detest it, but I don't really care for it. It's called a little chicken cookie, but guess what? Guess what it's made out of? That's right. It's made out of pork. So imagine a chocolate chip cookie, but instead you remove the butter and you use lard, and then you remove the chocolate chips and you use pork. That's what this is. And like, it's super hard. Usually it's sometimes when they make it well, it's like slightly chewy. So that's kind of cool. But I actively don't care for it. Like, if it's there, I'll look at it and I'll be like, yeah. So I'd say this is below average. Sachiwa, or sake ma. See, I don't know what this is, but like, this is like, it's basically like a Chinese funnel cake, and sometimes they put raisins in it. This one I actively do not like. It's like a sweet funnel cake, like Chinese like square block, and it's like glazed in some type of simple syrup. I don't care for it. It's better than the curry bun, but I don't care for. Okay, I think this just deserves F by itself. I don't care for it. Do I like? Yeah, I think I like this less than the chicken cookie. I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not my cup of tea. Mooncake again. Like, mooncake is good, but like, do I care that much for it? Like, I don't know why they sell this like year round, because honestly, I only ever eat this during Moon Festival. I won't actively be trying to eat more. Like, every time, it's so heavy that like, I'll eat like a sliver, like an 1/8 or like a 1/16, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm good. And that'll hold me over for like the next, like, until the next Moon Festival. So I mean, I probably do like this more than those two things. Yeah, this one just often is super eggy, and I don't really care for that. This one, the salted the salted egg yolk is just too overwhelming. But this one, I guess there's different flavors, like the freaking like 5-nut one that has like almonds and walnuts and whatever. That one goes in like F tier as well. But like, they do have like lotus paste, which is up there, red bean, which is up there. Sometimes they have salted egg yolk, which is up there, right? But like, I'd say this is like C, like year round. You won't see me actively ordering this. Okay. So I'm not even going to ask you if my tier list looks any different from yours, because I'm sure I'm going to get some haters. But what was my most offensive opinion? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear that. Honestly, like, they're all, other than this one just like, oh, they don't even bother with this one, but like all these other ones, like, there are places that do them well. I've never seen this done well, but like all these other places, there are places that do them well. So like, if you want to try it out, feel free. Like, they're all pretty good. Like again, see, when I say average for me, I still like to eat average, right? Even D, like sometimes this will be good. Like sometimes this will be fun to eat. This one's, I guess, very rarely this is fun to eat. But like all the other ones, like and they're fine, right? This one, no, don't even bother with this one. But like this one, like, try it out when you're at an Asian bakery, right? They're fun. Maybe you'll discover something new. Let me know which opinion of mine you hate the most, and then I'll be sure to comment back and respond why you're wrong. That's my tier list for traditional Chinese pastries and buns. Have a good day.